Not sure if that's working. I presume it's working. I don't know if this will function correctly or not. Move up our lighting source, which is just literally candles. So I don't know how to see chat. Hopefully it'll just pop up as we go. Somebody send a message out there. See if I can see it. I don't know. It's a new territory here for me. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Z, for confirming that the chat is actually working. How big is your Marlboro? I just go with the regular Marlboro. They used to be Marlboro mediums before they made them change all the names, and now they're called Marlboro Red Label, even though they're not actually Marlboro Reds. But whatever. So thank you for confirming the functionality of the chat there, Mr. Z, and joining me, even though you probably got better things to do. But my goodness, that's unacceptable. We keep it clean here. Silly man. Go with a Gurkha there. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, still out of power. They told us by 6 o'clock tonight the Cape would have power again, but it's okay, Mr. Z. You're my inspiration. The reason I actually started recording antics. I usually did antics anyway, but started recording them because you're a good man. Do you live near Arlington? No, no. Arlington is, I think, maybe out in Western Mass. We don't really deal with those Western Mass types. If you see the 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 Cape Codders map of Massachusetts, it's like, okay, Boston is the epicenter, and then the Cape is like basically the Florida of Massachusetts. Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket are the Bahamas, quote unquote. And then out in Western Mass, it's like there be dragons here because real mass holes don't deal with those guys. Way out there. But I'm glad the chat is working. Just got to keep an eye on it because the messages disappear real fast. So the whole purpose of this is I just miss you guys and want to be able to connect when literally I have nothing else to do right now. Work was interesting. Our office was shut down. All of you touch anything, but the carrier has been shutting down repeatedly over the past couple of days. So, been annoying as hell. Hope you guys are still there. Welcome, Kyle, my man with the beard. Restart it. Oh, okay. Yep, we're back. Yep, good. So, if you can't tell, I'm wearing my smoking jacket, one of my favorite jackets of all time. What they used to wear in the 40s and 50s when you'd come home from work and throw on your smoking jacket and have your martini and, smoke half a pack of cigarettes before dinner was ready. Times have changed a little bit, but still near and dear to my heart. Cigarette number 1 down. Wonder how many we're going to go through on this venture. I can't wait to, yeah. Smoke once, yeah. I got to figure out how to make the chat things stay up longer so I can actually read them before they fade out. Yeah, man. Whenever you get out there, we'll make it happen. I might advise you to, hang on, or maybe I'll come to you. Whatever, we'll see. It could be a pretty epic gaming thing, being side by side on a LAN or something, like Kyle was suggesting, coming to the Freight Plus office and gaming there, right out of Quincy. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta read this, man. It's tough. After cringe COVID, let's do. Yeah. How anybody that's live streamed, how do you keep the chat up so I don't have to keep tapping on it? Canelo admitting he takes drugs and pulls out of the fight. Any advice for up and coming sex? What? Wait a second. Matthew Smith. That's not my Matt Smith, is it? How dare you? No, really, is that Matt, is that you? Seriously. I have no idea about sex offenders. I hope they burn in hell. Go for cigarette number 2 here. I don't know who Canelo is either. It's him. Respawn. Okay, again. Matthew Smith Respawn. If that's really you, Matt, then you're going to get a negative counseling. I'm just kidding. You won't, but switching to cloves now for the moment. They told us we were supposed to get imagine if you can't imagine. I can't imagine. Do you like gummy candy? Gummy candy. I don't have that much sugar-based candy at all. Only this Mitsubishi Eclipse without any cigs. He's vaping currently, but we will get the cigs soon. Yeah, vaping is the White Claw of smoking. That's just, I'm sorry, that's just sad. But, hey, it's better than a non-nicotine user, I guess, because nicotine has a wealth of health benefits. It prevents Parkinson's, prevents Alzheimer's, that kind of stuff. So it's good for you, really. And cloves have a natural anesthetic effect, so help soothe the respiratory system. Very good for you, according to my research, and I think it's pretty accurate. Plus, they give that nice crackle effect when you smoke it. Yeah. Well, we're going to get down a rabbit hole there with the schizophrenia thing, because schizophrenia. Give me like 2 more Jim Beams, and we'll start talking about schizophrenia and actual demonic possession and that kind of stuff. Does it make me better at video games? So if you were not a nicotine addict and you started taking some sort of dose of nicotine, and my God, this is going to get me demonetized, but your brain function would be higher. Your ability to comprehend and just react to things would be much better. Then again, when you lose that dose of nicotine, you're in a fog. Like the times that I've quit smoking for 3 months, 4 months at a time, the brain fog is terrible. It's like you're submerged in oh crap, I can't see the comments now. How do you? Oh, there we go. All messages. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it makes you better at video games. Yeah. So let me finish up the. Hey Dankster, what's going on? Hey Lunar, welcome. Let me finish up the gummy candy question. By the way, I don't have much candy. I don't do like soda or sugar or cookies. I mean, I will if it's there, but I don't really pursue it. Gummy bears. I think probably my favorite candy in that realm is like sour stuff because I like the sour stuff, but not gonna seek it out. Savory is the way to go. But yeah, if you want to get real here, because hey, we got the time. There's a lot of things nowadays. A lot of I guess what people would call diseases, schizophrenia, that kind of stuff. Excuse me. That are a little bit Candlelit vibe. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. A lot of those things today are, how can I put this diplomatically? There are more forces at work than we're willing to admit. And modern medicine can do so much, but when you pluck out a weed, you can't just pluck out the top of it, right? You got to pluck it out by the root. You got to get to the root cause. And there's a lot of things that have root causes that we're not willing to address or admit exist as a society. All the mentalness, but it's deeper. Yeah, it goes down to spiritual. Absolutely. Yep. 100% right, Mr. Z. Yeah. You guys are keeping me talking. My smokes are going out. Yeah. You'd be surprised how certain things in your life or in your lineage, in your generationally, hereditarily, have rooted causes in the spiritual realm. And I don't intend to turn this into a spiritual talk. We'll get there eventually, but you've got to keep your mind frosty to those kinds of things. And the medicine that happens today to cover the symptoms doesn't necessarily address the root causes of some things. Some things, the only physician that can take care of it is the highest physician of all. And I can't make you go to him. I can only point the way. So let's continue on. Maybe more TF2-ish talk, if anybody has it. Oh, here we go. FNAF Squirrel. Five Nights at Freddy's Squirrel. What got me into TF2? So I used to play back in college. I went to Norwich 2003 to 2007, class of 2007. And we would play the OG Counter-Strike on LAN within our dorm, when we weren't getting hazed or like beaten. But it was a good time. And from that, we kind of went into like Day of Defeat and Fly Aces High. That was a game at the time. My buddy did a semester abroad in Shanghai, and the only way we connect was through Fly Aces High, that kind of stuff. And so eventually, coming out of that, when came back, I came back from the Navy in 2011, mid 2011, and I was like, okay, I want to play CS:GO again. Actually, it wasn't CS:GO at the time; it was just Counter Strike still. And I was like, okay, I got to go on Steam. What is this Steam thing? And so I jumped on Steam, and there was this game there, Team Fortress 2. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm into first-person shooters, whatever. And sure enough, I joined, and it's not anything like Day of Defeat. It's not anything like Counter-Strike. My first map was on Harvest, and I was like, well, these classes, they look weird. I'll just play sniper because that seems like the easiest. I died instantly, over and over again. And I got really frustrated, but I realized at that moment, this game is something. Like, this is awesome. There's something unique about this game. And I stuck with it, and that's what got me into it. And I played until, I want to say, right before Jungle Inferno came out, and then my PC just crapped the bed, and I really got sucked into my work. Got a PS4, that played Elite Dangerous and FF7 Remake, and then finally, after seeing so many videos about TF2, decided, okay, well, I'm going to get back into it. And it's about a year ago I just got back into it, and Jungle Inferno was still like, crazy to me. I never even conceived that. But all right, let's see what else we got, man. When we doing the Southern Hospitality Melee Machine? Oh, geez, Lunar, I don't know, man. Hopefully soon. Really dependent on Comcast or Xfinity or Eversource to get our power and internet back here. All right, sorry guys, that was stupid. Favorite soldier loadout by Flippy. Soldier again is my least played class of all time. I would say my favorite loadout there, probably, the times that I have to do it, it's if I have to go soldier, something's wrong. Like if somebody that mains medic and is somewhat decent at demo man and engineer, if they have to go soldier, something's wrong. So at that point, I go with the survivability soldier, the Conjurer, and the black box. But again, it's so rare that I just don't do it that often. Oh, Dingster, you only got into TF2 about a year ago. Yeah, man. And you got your golden pan reward. All right, Zorba. I was griefing CS:GO yesterday in competitive, walking in front of my teammates. Plus, give them cooldowns. That's awesome. Nice. I want to see more of that. We used to play Moha, Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, and that was awesome and fun for griefing. Day of Defeat's fun for griefing, too, if you ever get into that. My first ever TF2 match was 2 Fort. I got kicked for killing friendlies because I didn't understand the concept. Yeah, Dinkster, that is a common problem to have. One of my posts on Quora, and I don't know if you guys know Quora. It's a question and answer website where you post answers to questions. Most of them are like questions like, what would happen if the moon was double the distance from the Earth? or what would happen if Earth's gravity was half of what it is now. That kind of stuff. But there was a question somebody asked where, um, what how can a person ruin a game by playing it unintentionally, or not how it was intended to be played? And my answer there, like 3 or 4 years ago, was playing friendly Hoovy, because I hated friendlies. I was like, no, screw them. You want to play that way, you accept the consequences of your actions, then I'm just going to nuke you over and over. Not my problem. You chose to do that, so deal with it. But since then, I've gained an appreciation for friendlies. I won't go out of my way to kill them, but if it suits my purpose, then I will. Trying to build Uber or whatever. My God, keep going out here. You guys are crazy. Keeping me from smoking. Keep me talking too long. But yeah, Two Fort, awesome map. I don't buy into all these things. These people that say, "Oh, Two Fort, capture the flag is just a terrible game mode. It's so stupid." No, Two Fort's an awesome game mode. We all cut our teeth on Two Fort. You remember those days of finding the perfect engineer spot and just getting that second scope sniper vibe in when you're doing it. How to bust into the enemy's intel. That's what Two Fort's all about, man. And it trained us. Let me see. People expect to be good in about a day. Yeah. Tf2 took a long time to get a grasp of. And I think that's why I gravitated towards engineer at first, was because it was like, okay, even though it's more complicated to play, it's not just point and click shooting. It was like, okay, I have time to set up and do what the game is telling me I need to do. That's why I loved engineer for ages, but soldier's always been my favorite class. Even when I mained sniper, soldier can be more fun. Maybe I should just play some more soldier. I don't know. I I feel like the times, and this is an overgeneralization, I feel like the times that I have just gone soldier on a whim in casual play, not when I'm like recording a video or anything, I've just destroyed. Like I've wrecked to the point where it's just not fun. And I know that's an overgeneralization, but soldier to me is just a super easy class. Like, you got the health pool, you got the massive splash damage. There's no finesse required there. Yeah, you can build your finesse and you can get super good at soldier, but the skill floor for that is ridiculous. There's no reason to play that unless you just can't play another class. Of course, somebody's gonna call me an idiot for saying that. Any question from what's your favorite band? I'm curious. My favorite band is Boston. Excellent choice on their first 2 albums on vinyl. 70s. Damn, man. Hey, Boston, great band. Geez. So I would say I got to break it up. Like, it's hard to say favorite band. If you were to ask me my favorite, my favorite song. Okay, let's break this into categories. My favorite song of all time is "Sea Legs" by the Shins. That song just ministers to me amazingly. My favorite classical, because I was trained as a classical pianist, my whole upbringing was music. My favorite classical artist was Dvorak, specifically Symphony Number 9. 45 minutes of pure adventure with that. But in terms of like modern day, whatever, I would go with ELO or literally any 80s punk band. I mean, Kim Wilde's We're the Kids in America. That's my favorite 80s song of all time. There's so many. Underground, Underneath the Radar. Literally, yeah. Any 80s band is awesome. But that's where I stand on that. But awesome that you have vinyls. Those will be worth a lot if they're not already. Fun on 2-4. Yeah, yeah. Building a Sentry. Yep. CTF is mainly hated on just because of how long it goes on for. Yes and no. I think if people wanted a short match, they would join something else. So if you want a short match, don't join CTF and don't join 5CP. Those will just knock it out of the park. Those are insane. Process being the biggest offender on the 5CP side. Let's see. Where are we here? Goodness, how many? Yeah, I think. If you want to play soldier, I recommend the black box and the battalion's backup with the escape plan. In my opinion, the battalion's is better than Conch. Okay, Flippy. I would say battalion's backup is more of a team player item than the Conch, which maybe that's the necessity I was talking about in those random instances. I always just leave when I feel like my team is fun. I feel like they're leaving in the middle of a payload map or something. I think that's what killed. I don't even remember it now. The new game mode or the new company that did the Tf2 maps that everybody was drooling over for the past couple of months. Not starts with an F. That's how memorable it is. Somebody will remind me, I'm sure, but the idea of getting penalized for leaving a match, I would say half the matches I join during the day are like, yeah, I've got like 5 minutes to crank out. I've got 10 minutes to dick around, and don't penalize me for leaving it just because I'm here to have fun. Mr. Z, I want to mod the old Mario Kart 64 for the Nintendo 64 with TF2 characters. What would you think about that? My God, you don't. I mean, I'm sure you understand the joy of Mario Kart 64 or the OG like SNES Mario Kart. But let me tell you, kiddos, back in the day, a nerd's night with his friends was playing D&D for as long as you could stay coherent, as long as your cognitive ability held up. You played D&D with your friends. Second edition, the only edition, the best edition. And then, after the pizza comes and you get through all your soda and pizza, and everybody's mind is just burnt out from a crazy D&D session, then you would go to either Mario Kart or Mario Party, or in the N64 days you go to GoldenEye. My God. And you'd swap out. If you got a group of 6 friends, the 4th person keeps swapping out with whoever the 5th and 6th persons were. Oh my God, that was classic. I miss those days, but epic sleepover days. But yeah, if you could do a Mario Kart with TF2 characters, I would be totally on board. Every character has a special. Heavy pulls out a minigun or throws a sandwich instead of a banana or whatever. Good Lord, that'll be awesome. But I never owned an N64. I was a PlayStation kid. I was the kid that made fun of the N64 kids because they had to plug in their cartridge. Meanwhile, I got a a disc with, 7 times the capacity, so they could suck it. Dinkster, I have a collection of battalions backup. I love helping my team at the expense of my wallet. Well, I'll face it. Yeah, good call. That's the one I'm thinking of. That was stupid. I saw the trailer looked okay, and then I saw the random crits thing, like, oh, random crits, somebody needs to solve this problem. And that turned me off immediately. Like, besides not knowing anything else about it, turning off random crits just made me mad. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had my issues with random crits before, but never with melee random crits. Melee random crits should stay regardless of whatever else happens with the game, because melee random crits makes it hilarious. And if you took away all that, if you took away the melee random crits too, you would end up with a shell of a game and 0 content creators pushing it, because it would just be awful. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Flippy. The thing I hated most about Face It was that the better KD ratio you had, the more you leveled up. But I mean, medic. Yep, that's a valid concern. I never even bought into it. I never even played it. Mr. Z, what would you say to the dickhead back in high school who pranked you by making you sniff cook? Okay, we're gonna leave that one alone. He was a absolute poop head. Yeah, that was nice folded up piece of paper in social studies or history class, sitting in the back of the classroom. He okay. Next. Wasn't my thing. I just like to casually have fun on my own or with my friends. Reason why I don't play comp. I've played comp a few times, and I don't have a problem with it. It's cool. Like, if you want to do that game mode, go for it. I just couldn't. The artistic expression wasn't there, right? It almost felt like a taco bot match in terms of, you got to do this specific thing this specific way, or else you're failing a team. Which, for people that want to play that way, by all means, go for it, man. That's cool. Fine by me. You won't. I have no issue with that. It's just not for me. When I want to dick around or I want to try something unique, and there's a set formula, a meta that has to be followed to be successful, yeah, no thanks. Granted, the couple of times I did play comp mode, I went medic and, we rocked it, but I didn't feel that freedom to be able to do what I wanted. It was very constrictive. Dinkster, you have an N64? Good Lord. I've still got my original NES somewhere in the cellar. Yeah, Metroid, Dig Dug, Super Mario Brothers. Got it when I was, I think, for my 5th or 6th birthday. 1990, 1991. And it was amazing. I'm going to ramble here. And sorry if this doesn't interest you, but the games that I loved the most were the games that I played with my dad back in those days. And it was The Legend of Zelda and Metroid. And he had an office job where he had this massive old printer that printed out these giant sheets, the ones with the perforated edges that you had to tear off that came out of the printer. And he would grab stacks of those sheets, and we would draw out the maps on Legend of Zelda and Metroid. and where each level went and where all the power-ups were in pencil, and we write down the codes for when we had to, because the game gave you like a hexadecimal code to pick up where you left off, because there were no memory cards back then or no save files. And those are some of my best memories of early video gaming, with my dad doing that and defeating Mother Brain at the end of the original Metroid. My God. Oh, so good. So good. I forget what we're even talking about now. Getting back in my youth here. Okay. 64, yep. I had a Virtual Boy too, while we're on the subject of old consoles. My brother had a Sega Master Console that was awesome. It came preloaded with games on it. You didn't even need game cartridges. It had crazy games on it, and I loved going to his house and playing those games. He also had a waterbed. Super 80s guy. What would okay? FNAF. What would be your Smithmas wish list? My Smithmas wish list. So first of all, before anything else, I'm super upset at Valve. Besides all the other reasons to be upset at Valve, I'm upset at them for not including the medical marble in the Halloween update. Like, the medical marble, that's my ideal cosmetic. If I could embody a cosmetic, that's what it would be. And instead, they put in a stupid half scout torso penetrating another scout's torso, which we won't go into, but that should be in there. And other Smithmas updates, like I really don't care. I don't get into the Smithmas maps that much. I don't get into the Halloween maps that much. I played a few of them. Yeah, they're okay, but I just can't get into the groove. I don't get into the spell thing, and just extra stuff to learn when I'm already trying to learn the game. Like, what is it? 10 years later, and I'm still trying to learn the game. Like, no, I need to reserve that room in my brain for other stuff. By the way, this is the longest it's taken me to smoke one of these. You guys are keeping me talking. Not smoking is bad. You should be smoking as much as possible. So Smithmas wish list, yeah, we went over that. That's what I want. Lego NES model. So cool. Okay, yeah. Take a picture of yourself with 2 cigs in your nose, 2 in your ears, and 5 in your mouth while smiling. The answer is probably no. Absolutely hilarious profile picture. I can. I got the cigs to do it. I just got another carton today. I feel like that's, tell me, Mr. Z, would it be better off for me to do that, or for me to duplicate the mental gen meme with like an entire pack of cigs in my mouth, cross-eyed? Tell me which one you want. I'll do either one. Doesn't matter to me. Virtual Boy. Yep. I had a Virtual Boy. In fact, I got rid of it. Oh, God, I don't remember how long ago, but I went through my stuff, my old stuff in the cellar, and I still had a few games in the original boxes. One of the games I sold for like $65 on eBay. It was crazy because, they're all vintage items now. Still had the original booklet, all in the original box. Still had the cover on the bottom of the cartridge. It was very good. Dingster, my Smithmas wish list would be this hat for Spy. I forget the name, but it's a fedora with a lighter and cigarettes and ash on it. Yes, I've seen that one. I don't know, one of those guys, Saruman, or I don't know, they're a dime a dozen nowadays. Saruman or Spiky Mikey. Somebody reviewed that thing. I'm cool with that cosmetic. It seems okay. Uh, found out with the I found with the payload. Oh, Lunar. I found with the payload Halloween map that Cal Mangler and Conch. The last point is busted. Okay, I'll have to try that if I ever encounter that. Um, yeah, Cal Mangler is always almost a direct upgrade, really. Besides the reload time, that's the only thing that kills the Cal Mangler. Other than that, it's a direct upgrade, and it has more of an intimidation factor by disintegrating enemies rather than just blowing up, which, you know, any missile launcher, rocket launcher blows up people, but goodness. Look up the name. Difficult. Yeah. Mental Gen or Ear Nose Sig. Damn, that's hard. Reload time of the Cow Mangler was fixed a year ago. Yep. Unlimited ammo and the power of blast. That's true. Cow Mangler is really good. Would you say enjoy streaming or video making more? Personally, really love you as a streamer. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Mr. Z. I feel like this is my conundrum coming into the TF tubing section, even though I'm a baby still, but I appreciated you for guiding me to it and encouraging me in it. I wouldn't have done it if you didn't give me the moral support. But there are things that I want to say. There are things that I want to do just to show people that TF2 can still be fun, regardless of how you play, and open people's minds to the fact that this is what TF2 is. It's not just a stale game. It's not like, okay, we got to do this and this. It's like, here's some crazy, wacky stuff you can do in the game. I feel like I've partially accomplished that, and there's other people doing that too. So I don't feel too bad about it. That was my primary goal, was to reignite people and say, hey, this game has more fun aspects about it than you realize. That said, in terms of ease, streaming is so much easier. I enjoy streaming because I can just relax and sit back and I don't have to do the editing, and you know what I'm talking about. Editing takes forever. You record an hour and a half worth of footage, and you spend all day narrowing it down to like 10 minutes. It's just painful. But the result of those can sometimes be better than streaming because it's more focused and it's more well, I'll just say you can get more 80s songs in there. 80s songs are really what matters. I do enjoy streaming though. I enjoy both, but streaming is easy, and I feel like you can get more team involvement with streaming than you can just like doing one singular gimmick here and there. All right, this clove is just about done. This is the longest it's taken me to smoke a clove in ages. I'm gonna switch to regular cigarettes soon. In stock. Afterburn. Melee machine. Yeah, Lunar. You're the melee machine, man. And Lunar's been a good friend throughout this. I mean, you all have, but Lunar's got the he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The finesse of the engineer wrench to really make it happen. And I'm surprised that video got so popular. I think just because of the song choice. And not gonna lie, I love the 80s music, and I love putting it on there, and I'm not above paying for licensing. Like that's part of the deal, man. I don't care if I make money on the video or not. I'm not anywhere near where I can even monetize any of this stuff. But you know, some of those licensing things are just awesome. It's like, oh yeah, I got total freedom to spread the gospel of TF2 and the glory of 80s music at the same time. Yes, please. Don't mind if I do. Let's see. Yeah, spent about FNAF. You spent 4 hours on video, dude. That's wild. And sometimes you have to do that. There was one video that before I got, I don't even remember what video editing software I use now, but before I got it, I was doing things in the default Windows video editor, and I spent like a couple hours on it, and I accidentally clicked the thing that said sync video to music beat or something, and it ruined the video, and I couldn't backtrack, I couldn't undo or anything, and it just screwed up hours worth of work. So stay away from that. But yeah, you get out of it what you put into it. A lot of guys have there's two sides to the coin. There's the people that like Lacrima and I forget who else, Monkey, no, not Monkey, some of those guys, that the ones that do the like 10-second TF2 videos, they spend no time editing. Maybe they spend 20 minutes on the thumbnail, but they spend no time editing, and they just blow these videos out. Like they poop them out at least one or two a day, and they get views that way. But there are other people that spend all their time editing these videos. Like they make high quality videos, and they're maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks, but they're solid. And that's two different ways to get views. And so you know, they're both valid. I would call myself somewhere in between. I want to give you guys stuff to watch, but I don't want to be spamming you, and at the same time I don't want to be starving you either. So oh god, we got a lot of messages here. Mr. Z, what do you think about the free cheat software called Cat Hook, which is what the bots use, and its special feature called Sandwich Aimbot? I have no idea what Sandwich Aimbot means. Does that mean the heavy automatically throws a sandwich at somebody? I don't know. Explain that one to me. Dinkster, oh, we've been good friends. Oh, yeah. We are all good friends. Yes, Lunar, that was the Eureka effect. Never used that wrench despite learning it's really good. Southern Hospitality was my go-to. You know, I was going to do a video saying the Southern Hospitality is actually good. Like, I think half of my upcoming planned videos are videos where I take something that somebody says, oh, this weapon sucks, and I say, no, screw you, it's actually good. Red Tape Recorder, Southern Hospitality, that kind of stuff. Because why not? You know, let's go Brandon kind of thing. So yeah, I definitely want to do something on that. Yeah, Melon. Yep, you're right, Mr. Z. Melon. Bomer. I've seen a little bit of Bomer. The one that immediately comes to mind over and over again is Lacrima, because like Dinkster, he has a golden pan, but he does the same. Every video is the exact same thing, whereas Dinkster does like good stuff. Like Dinkster's an awesome YouTuber and a good friend, but Lacrima, he's got the same gimmick over and over again, and it's not even a gimmick at this point. It's like literally him with a rocket jumper on Hightower, and he jumps and he kills somebody with the golden pan, and woohoo, that's the video. Like, okay, thanks. We haven't seen that 1,000 times already. What would really be awesome is if one of the old school Saxy Award winners challenged him and said, you know what, let's do this. And the Saxy Award winner came up and saxied him and golden, made him golden corpse. I think that would be awesome. Pretty sure that's what. Okay, here we go. Vulnerable quality. Neither quality nor quantity. Oh, Lunar, come on, dude, Lunar. The thing that got me on your channel was the it's heckin' windy. That is almost the level of hurricane winds we had here just yesterday, and it was insane. I probably should have done a parody of you just for that, driving around and seeing all the trees knocked down, because it was insane. But yeah, it was crazy. A lot of good YouTubers who make stuff that don't get enough attention. Absolutely true. Dingster, that Tf2 is special in that respect. And I've mentioned it before, but you see people that have such an amount of content and not related to Tf2, and then all of a sudden they do a Tf2 related thing, and the community just floods it with views and likes, and that's they cling to that. And that's MHGR Paul, the Army vet there, the G. Gordon Liddy, mustache and shaved head. I suppose he can't grow a beard. He probably could if he wanted to, but his wife won't let him. But that's what got him his claim to fame, is he was doing all this military gear review stuff, and that's cool. But once you tap into that Tf2 community, man, then you got some money coming. Then you hit the jackpot. And I do enjoy streaming with him here and there. Sometimes he goes on random times that I just can't get on. I'm either at work or doing something else, but he's a good dude. Not a fan of the tarot cards, though. Pretty sure that's what sandwich aimbot is. Okay, again, I have no clue. What's your guys' favorite Tf2 cosmetic? I'm a sucker for Western, so I'll get Sheriff Stetson, brimful of bullets. This is Clint Eastwood's hat and Frontier Justice. That's a really good question, Mr. Dinkster. Seeing your afterward comment, the guy that bought his way to a channel. I assume you're talking about Lacrima, so yeah, probably he bought his pan. I don't know. But favorite Tf2 cosmetic. That is a good one. I gotta think about that for a second. I think my favorite Tf2 cosmetic, even though we take it for granted, is the Cuban bristle crisis. The beard with the cigar. It changes any class, or the classes that it's allowed on. I don't remember what those are. I know it's definitely heavy and I think engineer. But I think the Cuban bristle crisis really, anything with a beard really brings it home for me. Obvious bias there. Yeah, and any beard cosmetic resonates in my book. I got really lucky, but I'm thinking, yeah, man, you've been solid with it, just helping people out where you can. 13 Road. Oh my goodness. Bambi, what are you doing here? My God. Mr. Bambi's here. No. All right. If 15 squirrels backflip into a pool of Oreos, does a dolphin get its wings? This is a debate we had ad hominem. Um, I would say if 15 squirrels backflip into a pool of Oreos, does a dolphin get its wings? Then it's only based on how poisonous a squirrel's farts are for your mother's testicular cancer. By the way, Bambi, I hope everything's going well with the new puppy and um, Lacey, Macy, and Wyatt, and hope everything's going up okay up there on the northern border. In case you don't know, Bambi was his name is Ben, but he was my best friend back in college. He's the one that I was saying we used to play Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat, and um, you know, he was the one that was over in Shanghai that I was talking about. We would play Fly Aces High, and if I still had my Facebook page, I had all the screenshots from back in 2005 or 2006 when he would just dive bomb his F-15 into my character on the game. It was just great. So we actually have a drink named after us at the bar up in Vermont that we would go to. Custom design. It's called a BJ Gulp. Ben and Jalen. It's 2/3. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong. It's 2/3 beer, 1/3 Coke, and a splash of amaretto. The beer of choice being Magic Hat #9 for the apricot flavor. And Ben would come down and we'd throw in a lip of peach skull and watch The Incredibles on repeat when the original DVD came out. All right, I'm going down memory lane here. I'm sorry. Ben, hope you're doing okay, man. Mr. Z, I'm planning on doing a parody of you, but as a hippie because of my hair. It's vape. Hey guys, hippie Jalen here. I switched to vaping because the reds were too harsh and I drink CBD water now. That would be a good one. If I was going to parody myself, if you were going to parody me, I would say do stuff like, well, I can't grow my hair, so I compensate by growing out my beard, or let me think. I can't something like I can't handle tequila, so I drink whiskey instead, or something stupid like that. I don't know. That's a good start, though. Good start. Let's go, Brandon. No pigs fly. Yeah, I like MHGR. I do too. He's good. He's I think what Paul needs at MHGR. I think he needs to spend more time learning about the game and commenting on things that he's learned about the game. And as one of his subscribers, I've suggested to him probably a dozen times now, you need to watch or react to the team service announcements from Crocodile. Crocodile is one of the best Tf2 animators of all time in my book. Crocodile is awesome. And his team service announcements are hilarious. But he could really do some good by watching those videos and reading out loud the description on the video to learn about the game and have a fun time while doing it. What else we got here? Oh God, we gotta get through here. Mr. Z, when's the next Savage Galley? Good Lord, the next A Father and a Son song. Mr. Z, I've shared too much with you. So, if you didn't know, when I first got introduced to YouTube and I was like, okay, maybe I can do something with this, I had a cooking channel called Savage Galley. And it's still up, but I haven't posted a video in like 3-4 years now. And it was wild cooking stuff with, my girlfriend at the time and my parents, and we'd all get together. My sister and her friends would come over, and we'd do all these weird recipes, and it was fun, but not as enjoyable as YouTube, and required. I had to buy like extra lighting and stuff, and it was an overly saturated community at that point because, to be honest, Epic Mealtime was like my jam back in the day. And so I wanted to do something similar to that, but more doable for the average person. And also a father and a son, that is still a valid channel. That's literally my dad and I, we have a band called A Father and a Son. And we do music. We got 4 albums out now. The 5th is kind of in limbo, but we do worship music and we have a great time. Yeah, feel free to check it out if you can find it. And let me know if you need a link. Balloonicorns. Yeah, that's a good one. Lunar, A Cuban Bristol Crisis by Random Drop. Good for you, Mr. Z. That's a great find. Strange Cubble. Wow. Okay. Dingster Flex in there. Favorite of mine. Load out with it and all dead. Okay. Hey, Sebash. Welcome. Welcome, man. Only one way to find out if that's true. 13 Road. Wait a second. Am I missing something here? Or is he just responding to Bambi's initial? Yeah, I think he's just responding to Bambi's initial thing. Yeah, what's going on? Magic Atom 9, splash of Coke, and dash of amaretto. All good, brother. Yes, sir. Super delayed. Oh, sorry, Sebastian. Audi 5000, man. Okay, I'll have to find that. I know you have the Ron Swanson pick. I tried teaching you, man. Tried teaching you the ways of Tf2. You got to get into it. Got to get into it. The days of CS:GO are over. Now a good time to say you've been streaming for an hour. What? Really? Jeez. No, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, sorry. Feel free to hop off if you want. Maybe I'll hop off soon too. Sebash, ask something. Jalen, do you consider you main any class? Nowadays I main medic, but for the longest time, and you can see it in my loading screens, you can see my hours, I mained engineer forever. I probably could have taught Uncle Dane everything he knows, but that's a pretentious statement, I'm sure. But I did main engineer for ages. Yeah, I would call myself a medic main now. Demo main in MVM, of course. But I still need to get a quickie bomb launcher. Do you think Heavy should have been in Smash Ultimate? I don't. I haven't played Smash since the original Smash Brothers back in whenever it was. Like literally around the time of Marvel Ultimate Alliance or X-Men, whatever that multiplayer game was at that point. We played Smash. The one I did love was seeing Even though I don't play it, I saw that when Sephiroth was introduced into Smash, it was like, oh my god, the reactions to that were awesome. And I immediately downvoted the ones that didn't recognize him from the music as soon as he appeared on the screen, because they're not true fans. Because Final Fantasy VII is the greatest game of all time, hands down. If you disagree, leave now. But yeah, so Heavy, I think I'm afraid to put Heavy in Smash Ultimate or any TF2 character, because it'll kind of I'm hesitant on that. I don't want to diminish our community at all by tainting it with Nintendo Bros, if that makes sense. Maybe that sounds kind of no, it sounds kind of weird. It sounds like an Aryan race kind of thing. Like, we don't want to taint our master race with, yeah, well, PC master race. I don't want to taint the PC master race with the Nintendo Bros. Maybe that makes more sense. CS:GO is still fun, only to grief and dick around, though. Yeah, I haven't played CS:GO in ages, so the game itself sucks. CS:GO is boring unless you grief. Griefing is awesome. And you know what? As much flack as people give guys like Delphi or Sin or those guys, I love griefing. And I think Delphi does God's work. I get inspiration from his videos. Never played CS:GO, but an upper hand. Okay, well, good. I don't know how to do that. Grand Uncle Jalen. Yeah. I'd say I probably got a couple of years on Uncle Dan. He's probably in his late 20s, early 30s, I would imagine. Heavy loadout, the Cuban Bristle Crisis, the Mercs Mohawk, and the Macho Man. I think I've done that actually at one point, Lunar. Engineer is my third most played class. Yep, that's a good class to have. They have over 80 characters now. Yep. Trip, Lord of Inconvenience. You got it on point. And that is the kiss of death for a game where you've got so many classes, so many characters to play. Look at Overwatch. Like, they don't have the versatility of TF2. TF2 has 9 classes, but you can do an infinite amount with those classes. Whereas Overwatch, or maybe even Smash, you just got to pick one of a bajillion classes that have no customization abilities whatsoever. And the guy that, I forget who did it, but the guy that did the video about TF2 versus Overwatch explained with food was fairly spot on with his analysis. And that was like 3 years ago, I want to say he did it. I mean, Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Dude, hell yeah. Metal Gear Solid was actually, my parents gave me my PlayStation 1 for Christmas in 1997. And Metal Gear Solid was the game, that and Final Fantasy VII were the games that they gave me with it. And oh, such a good game. You got to understand. And I played the original Metal Gear on NES, which was revolutionary by itself. But my God, Metal Gear Solid, so good. And the pixels had life to them. Good Lord. A cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. My favorite quotes from that. Just all go to Dust Bowl and build on last. I like it. Sebastian, we'll do that when I can actually get back online. You should check out Noob Dog. His name is Boring on YouTube. Just look up Boring CSGO. He's a cheater, but uses it to grief. It's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, man. Send me his videos if they're funny. I don't I don't advocate cheating at all, but that's just for TF2. If somebody's cheating on another game, I really don't care, because they're not having a bot crisis. If anything, it'll introduce a lot of people to TF2, so I became a massive Metal Gear Solid fan. Hell yeah. Um, about the number of classes, that is why I don't play League of Legends, Dota 2, Overwatch. Yeah, I don't think I would have time to play so many games. Yeah, yeah, it's um, it's annoying, and same with, again, I don't know how many of you guys ever played D&D back in the day, but the more classes and subclasses and dual classes you have, it just gets stupid. Just friggin' play a wizard, play a rogue, play a fighter, whatever you want to do, but don't start mixing them up and be like, well, I have 2 classes of wizard and 3 classes of barbarian, therefore I can do this stupid thing. Like, get out of here, man. Just make it interesting, the class that you're playing. And the same applies in TF2. Make it interesting, the class that you're playing. Don't try to, well, I gotta have Widowmaker that does this, and I don't even remember all the names from Overwatch because I really don't care. Um, the Bjorn character that's basically the troll engineer. Like, just play TF2, man. Just pick it and stick with it. Let your personality shine through your loadout, and your play style. Oh, Dinkster, you got to play Metal Gear. Um, yeah, Snake. That's where all the meme. That's where the meme comes from, man. Snake, Snake, Snake. Colonel Campbell, was it? And that was, dude. I don't want to go on a tangent again, but man, the level of involvement. If you rented that game from one of the game stores, whether it's oh god, I can't remember the game rental store. If you rented Metal Gear Solid from a video game or a Blockbuster kind of rental place, and it didn't have the original case on it, you were screwed because you couldn't get the super frequency, the fourth wall breaking frequency that you had to call to advance the game at one point. So there was a point where Colonel Campbell said, or somebody said, maybe it was Deep Throat or Merrill. Somebody said to go on, you have to call the frequency on the back of the CD case, and they meant literally the CD case the game came in, and it was mind blowing. Um, Campbell was on 140.85 or something like that. But if you got the game in a rental, you just had the blank rental jacket that the CD came in, so you were screwed unless you went online through your dial-up and looked it up on GameShark Code Creators Club or one of those code websites back in the day, which I used to contribute to. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid is awesome, man. Great game. I was going to go somewhere else with that, but and he smoked, so there was actually a point in the game where to advance you had to smoke. Well, you didn't have to, but there were lasers. There were invisible lasers across this tunnel, and in order to pass the level, you had to equip your cigarettes and smoke so that the smoke would show the trail of the laser, and you could crawl under it or run past it in one way or another. Great gameplay. Oh god, I feel like I'm falling way behind here on questions. Sorry. Introduce a lot of people. Yep. Number of classes. Yep. Let's all go NG and build on last and have the frontiers justice. Hell yeah. He doesn't hate cheaters for griefing. Surprisingly, he barely has any dislikes. Well, good for him. I can't say I care or play CSGO, but good for him. Uh, Snake and Smash, yeah. Class, just a different way to play another class. That's probably true. Brawl, favorite Smash game. Yeah, Lunar, we would need a Pyro for that, but there are other classes that can go bro classes. You can have I think I've proven before, you can have a heavy bro or a sniper bro or a spy bro. Those are all legit things. For the Metal Gear games, yeah, you should. How can we play Metal Gear nowadays? Don't touch Metal Gear Survive. So I haven't played a Metal Gear since 3. 3 was the last one I played. The Big Boss one, where you play as Big Boss. Snake Eater. Yeah, it was okay. It got kind of wonky. It got kind of Skyrimish with like, oh, you got shot, so eat this rabbit meat and it'll heal your gunshot wound, kind of thing. That was kind of dumb, but overall, it was an okay game. It did the original justice in blending, walking the line between science fiction and supernatural with some of the powers that Ghost had and those kind of things. His name wasn't even Ghost. I'm butchering it totally, but Metal Gear Solid 3 was okay. All right, Mr. Z heading out for now. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I can't wait to get power back, man. I'm just chomping at the bit here to do something. Went out for dinner tonight and got some fried shrimp and fries, and that was a treat. But other than that, it's been a dud. Some DVDs of shows that I liked to watch when I was a little kid. One of them was Ben 10. I realized that the voice actor for Ben 10's grandpa was also the voice of Colonel Campbell. Wow, I didn't know that. I know what Ben 10 is. I never watched that. That's a little past my time. Just like people that rave about Harry Potter or Pokemon. It's like, it's a little past my time. I don't know, you'll probably call me a sinner for not even knowing about that, but yeah. David Hayder, the Solid Snake voice actor. Absolutely. Back when you had the original PlayStation controller that didn't have the knobs on it for the multi-directional movement. You had to actually use the directional pad, which is all you had. And when the torture scene came with Revolver Ocelot, and you had to tap the circle button to stay alive, to resist the torture, that was when the game broke so many fourth walls. So if you had an auto fire controller, the game would detect that and immediately just shut it down and let you die. And there were no continues, there were no saves. You died for real in the game, and it was over because the game detected you were a cheater trying to use the auto clicker. So you had to use. There were a couple of techniques you could use, and you could either put on like a glove and swipe your finger over the button as fast as possible, or you could take a little AA or AAA battery and just run it over the edge of the button as fast as possible, depending on what game mode you were playing on, easy or hard or whatever it was. But giving me Metal Gear Solid PTSD here. Goodness, you guys are crazy. But yeah, never got into Ben 10. Never really understood it. Regular Show is my favorite cartoon. Can't forget Escape from LA. Okay, well. Escape from LA. Was that Robert Redford? Escape from New York, I think, was the first one, and then Escape from LA. I want to say I saw that in my young teens, but can't say for sure. But the the eye patch and the mullet are very clear in my mind, for sure. Bash, it's okay. Never played the Metal Gear games because of my age, but I know it's a good game. Yeah, it was a classic. And just not to get preachy here, but just like Final Fantasy VII, the OG was a classic. As Game Fan infamously commented, quite possibly the greatest game ever made. If you haven't played the original Final Fantasy VII, you have to. You have to. I adjure you in the spirit to play Final Fantasy VII because it's so good, just so good. If people saw the Final Fantasy VII characters in the field screen nowadays, they would think you're playing, Roblox or something. But literally, that's those are the character models that they just, I don't know, they had that emotion for us. Is there any non-video game stuff you guys want to talk about, or are we just going to keep going? I'm fine either way, but I'm just here to. I'm enjoying your company, so let me know if there's something else you want to talk about. Don't even think about using autofire, or I'll know. Yes, that was the Revolver Ocelot line. The other great line Revolver Ocelot had was 6 bullets. More than enough to kill anything that lives. Which I guess is true, depending on how you're shooting them. Like a blue whale, I'd say if you shot all 6 bullets right down the top of the head of the blue whale, you'd probably kill it, maybe. I don't know. Dingster, favorite movie? Wow, you should know that by now. My favorite movie of all time is The Matrix. There is no denying that. Solid. I went to see it like 4 times when it came out in theaters, in a row. And the first time, so my dad went and saw it first, and then I went with him to see it, and he said, after it, he said, "Oh my God, I understand so much more this second time after seeing it than the first time." And then I went and saw it over and over again. I was like, "Oh, look, this is awesome." Really good. The sequels are okay. I'm not one of the people that are like, "Oh, the original Matrix was awesome, but the sequel sucked." Like, no, I really don't care. The sequels are okay. They kind of completed the story. But after that, second favorite movie, The Seven Samurai, was a great one. The black and white movie from the 50s or 40s or 50s, and it's the movie that the anime Samurai 7 is based off of. So if you haven't seen either of those, I would recommend it. Seven Samurai or Samurai 7. Go for both. Taxi, yep. Oh, Taxi Driver. Okay. Was that that's different from the series, the Robert De Niro series, right? I think. Napoleon Dynamite, or the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's a good choice. Napoleon Dynamite, I respectfully disagree with you on. I remember when Napoleon Dynamite came out, and it was very divisive. There were people that were like, "Oh my God, this is hilarious," and people like me that were like, "This was an absolute waste of my time. I'll never get my brain cells back." That was the advent of really stupid humor. Like in that day and age, Will Ferrell was up and coming, and he had stupid humor. but it was funny. You know, it was still funny. But Napoleon Dynamite took that humor, and there's such a thing as dry humor, but Napoleon Dynamite was like dehydrated humor. It was like they took the humor and just kind of dried everything out of it, and it was so mundane. And I sorry, can't get into that movie. Vote for Pedro, sure. Um, if you guys got to let me know. Do you like epic rap battles of history, ERB? Because they've got that's just what Napoleon Dynamite reminded me of. Napoleon versus Napoleon, but they got a bunch of good stuff. Um, you should check it out if you haven't already. Trip. I saw a copy of FF7 in my local collectibles games. Perfect condition. Only $20, dude. Yeah. Oh, only $20. You could have gotten that and flipped it for 50. I want to say, if it was in perfect condition. I've still got mine, but there's no way I'm selling that because I'm going to pass that on to my kids if I ever have them. Um, I don't think I can have. I don't think I can procreate with bourbon, but if I could, I would give that to my kids. You had no money, Trip. Well, what were you doing there anyway? Lunar loves ERB. Yeah, you should. So, Lunar, what's your favorite ERB? Mine is I've got a whole playlist of my favorite ERBs. I think my top of all time is Julius Caesar versus Shaka Zulu. I think the beat on that and the lyrics were just on point. Like it was a blow for blow, good good exchange, and it was like it was catchy, you know. ERB is fine. Damn right it is. What hmm. Dinkster, you haven't seen The Matrix? My God, man. The Matrix is come on, man. Joe Biden face. Come on, man. You got to do it. You got to see The Matrix. That's just classic. Um, and Keanu Reeves entered a interesting period at that point where he did that, and then he did in 2004 he did Constantine. Constantine is a great movie, honestly. As an old school comic book nerd, Constantine strays way far from the comics. Like it's nowhere near what Constantine was supposed to be. But as a movie, it was really good. And the cinematography and the lighting and the shot angles, like I could Constantine is one of those movies I could watch probably, 5 times in a row and just not be bothered at all because it was that good. Um, as much as the theology of it is completely wrong and garbage, but highly entertaining. The scene where he's got Moses' shroud wrapped around his hand, and that used to be my profile picture on MySpace back in the day. The scene where Constantine has the Moses shroud wrapped around his hand and he lights it on fire and holds it up and the demons are all blasted away. Dude, that was awesome. Pre-YouTube days. Oh, Roosevelt versus Churchill. That's got an awesome beat. That's a really good one. British Bulldog medal with a teddy bear. Yeah, that's got a great backing track to it. Try to remember whatever lyrics I can. So my buddy and I actually had the whole Steven Spielberg versus Alfred Hitchcock rap memorized at one point. I'm trying to remember. This was ages long past. He used to sit right next to me at work, and we would go back and forth. I'd say a lyric, and he'd say the next lyric, and it was funny. Uh, then I found $5. No, terrible ending to a story like that. Um, God, half your billions should go to John Williams. Yeah, that was a classic. Classic. Sorry, getting sidetracked here. That experience still haunts you. Trip, what experience? Oh, the experience of not being able to buy FF7 OG. You should feel bad about that. Should have gotten it. Sorry. Dinkster, do you like John Wick? I do. I like the John Wick movies. Again, Keanu Reeves is one of those actors that just he's the fact that he's a good man reflects in his work. And you can find that in a lot of places. There are varying degrees of talent for sure, and some actors are rewarded for the talent. But Keanu he's seriously a good man, and I think he gets blessed for that beyond what we can comprehend in terms of actual acting ability. And he's a good actor too. But I think the John Wick series is it's a good. People want something to believe in. People want something to fight for. That's just an inherent quality of all of us as humans. We want something to fight for, some higher cause. And so for us to see on the TV screen that this guy has a conviction and, he's had nothing to live for, nothing to fight for all these years, and all of a sudden his dog gets stolen or whatever happens to be the motif of the movie or the sequel or whatever. For us to see that, we inherently want to involve ourselves in that. We say, hey, yeah, this is a just cause. Let's go for it. So I think that's a good. The John Wick series embodies a nice piece of that. And not only that, but the ability to feel appreciated, because the main character, John Wick, is he's the protagonist, but it's not like a Liam Neeson protagonist, in Taken, or that where the enemy doesn't realize who he is, where the enemy doesn't realize, like, oh crap, we screwed up. This is a no, they don't care. But when the enemy reveres you and knows, like, oh crap, this is bad. This is and you see that gladiator kind of deliverance figure coming forward and administering justice. That's his something in the human psyche. I think that's why the John Wick movies are good. All right, I'm getting off track again. At least The Matrix isn't like Bird Box, where I didn't even know what the plot was. So I never saw Bird Box. I don't know, but I've seen all the memes and I've seen bits and pieces of the movie. I think it's a good concept. I like the fact that they never show the thing that people see when they look at the Bird Box. But again, I never actually watched the full movie, so I can't give a solid commentary on it. But again, Sandra Bullock. Hey, I'll watch that if I get the chance. Watched my friend get scammed while a gold mine sat next there at the price of $20. Damn, man. I hope you're. That. I don't know. I don't know what the story is behind that. Your friend getting scammed. Spielberg and Hitchcock are word for word. Hell yeah. Keanu Reeves is awesome. Yep. Where's the dog? Is brutally killed. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, a lot of painful stuff there. So yeah, I think we've exhausted the movies category. Um, what else you guys want to talk about? Huh? I'm here. I got tomorrow off, so literally nothing else to do besides chat. So let me know what you want to know about Jalen, the man, the myth, the legend. And I'll say this: when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will do, and I've told some people this already. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will do a live stream of shaving my beard completely off, and probably regret it immediately after. But I shave it off pretty much every year just to reset. But hopefully we'll get something out of that. I was watching, I was confused about what was going on, and when I was done watching it, I was even more confused. Yeah. Thoughts on Duke of Hazzard? The Dukes of Hazzard, just some good old boys, never meaning no harm. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. Waylon Jennings actually wrote that song, and the General Lee was the 1967, 1968 Charger they drove during that. I actually never watched the series in full. I've seen bits and pieces. I was more of an 80s Quantum Leap, A-Team, Miami Vice, obviously, kind of guy. But I have no problem with Dukes of Hazzard. I think that's the kind of show that gets canceled nowadays because of stupid reasons, and it's an essential piece of Americana, and it tells a story. It's entertainment, and I just don't comprehend our society about it. But I R.I.P. Waylon Jennings. That's all I'll say about that. In fact, I haven't shown you guys my 1980 Camaro Z28, which is the sister car to the Eastbound and Down Burt Reynolds car there. Yeah, it's right behind me, but you probably can't see it. It's kind of dark. But it's got the Z28 right there. Yeah, you can't really see it. Got the T-tops, everything. I'm trying to sell it. I got it like 6 years ago. Had some fun, and now it's just too much of a pain to deal with. But it's my baby. First time the nickname I got for it was the Devil. It's black, and it's got the red stripes, and it's got the red interior, and 350 cubic inch engine, 4-barrel Holly carb. It's beautiful car. Gets the people riled up wherever I drive. But first time I took it out, and I went and got my mom and dad. Dad had to climb in the back, which was awful for him. It's a coupe. But mom was sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm doing like 20 miles an hour down the road, and she's screaming, grabbing me, saying, "My God, this car is the devil!" What? Because it's just so low to the ground. It's an awesome car. But if you know anybody interested in a genuine 1980 Z28, let me know. I'll hook you up. I'm in a seller's market right now. Let's see. Confused about what was going on when I was done watching. Yeah, more confused. Yeah, probably. Thoughts on Duke's? Oh yeah, okay, we got that. Beard, yeah. Need something to do when I hit 300 subs. Lord of Inconvenience. Well, let's see. What do you do? Face reveal? I mean, that's the common thing. I kind of blew my load early on that because I really don't care about avatars or anything. So this is just me. So, but if I 300 subs, that's an awesome milestone, man. Like, go for a face reveal, or at least I don't know, console gaming setup reveal. Like, do what you got to do, man. Um, FNAF Squirrel, I'm interested in this now, and I just shave it off a week ago. Oh, I assume you had a beard too. Well, oh, Lunar grew up watching Dukes of Hazzard on DVD. So one show that I didn't watch as a child, but I got forced to watch in the Navy was da, 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 um, Hogan's Heroes. My God, we would go in the wardroom. Our captain would make the CS, the culinary specialists. He'd make them put that one of the DVDs on from Hogan's Heroes every time we went in for a meal. And so you'd sit there and, there's some conversation, but he'd make sure you were attentive to Hogan's Heroes while it was playing. It's like, okay. Okay Boomer. It was that was the original Okay Boomer back in 2007. But it was a good series. Lunar, my favorite car is the modified Charger. Second favorite, Night Rider's kit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. David Hasselhoff. Awesome. My uncle has the car from Duke's. Oh, snap. Nice tincture. Not the General Lee itself, but the car type. Yeah. I can't remember the exact type. It's 67 or 68 Charger. One sub trip. Check. Oh, snap. Damn, Trip. Well, I got to go back in your timeline and find your face reveal. Goodness. And you made my cigarette go out again because you guys are making me talk. Oh, snap. Sebash. Yes, Sebash. I did 2 years on a minesweeper out of Sasebo. Started off as force protection, intelligence, deck officer, all that rolled into one. Sasebo, Japan, and we went all over Asia. And then second tour, I did 2 years on a guided missile cruiser, the USS Philippines Sea, out of Mayport. Went all over Europe. Had that fun as the main propulsion assistant chief engineer. It was an interesting time when I was young and trying to decide what to do, because I knew I wanted to go to a military academy of some sort. One of my good state rep friends said, if you want to see like half the east coast of the U.S., go Army and Marines. If you want to just kind of hang out and play golf, go Air Force. But if you want to see the world, go Navy. And that was what I went with. And it had its tough times. All yeah. A lot of good experiences, a lot of bad experiences, but you don't remember the bad ones as much. You remember some of the bad experiences, like engines spraying gas everywhere and thinking you're about to be blown up and die. Times when you're stuck between the sweep winch and the buoy chain, and you think you're going to get torn in half. Those kind of things. But those are little pieces of memories. And I remember getting mail. We would get. I was the PR officer too. We would get mail from stateside, just generic mail, and the Navy just kind of divided it up between the different ships in the region. And some of the mail was, how do you what do you think about what's going on with US pop culture today? And I remember looking at it and kind of throwing it on the table and printing out my reply of, while you are worried about, and this is again back in 2007, 2008, while you're worried about who owns Michael Jackson's gloves, or what the lawsuit is about here or there, what this actor is wearing, there are people dying here, and there are people getting their body parts crushed in different parts of the ship that we have to medevac, and saying you're worried about paper or plastic at the store, and I don't care, really. You need to get a bigger perspective. And that was the last I heard from that person on that particular letter thread. But yeah, I'll go into that, and a lot of memories there. Sorry, going off on a tangent again. Okay, what the hell is this? I'm just gonna ignore whatever the hell that is. Everyone knows my console setup because I don't have a capture card. Record gameplay by pointing a camera at the TV. Damn, man. That's some old school stuff. Need moderation. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't think I have any enemies besides the bot hosters that I've kind of made fun of repeatedly over and over. But either way, their time will come. 60s Roadrunner. That's a good call, Dexter. Yeah. Trip finally got to 300. Nice. I don't see any bots after that initial wave. Seems like it's okay. Lord is our defense. E-guards are going in and are coming out. A lot of my content is cringe memes that I use as filler between gaming videos. Well, Trip, you know me, you know how I feel about cringe stuff. I wouldn't encourage it. I think if you're provoking people to cringe responses, or if you're saying cringe stuff to elicit a response, not my thing. But if that's how you want to do, that's how you do. Tf2 again. Think of the worst cheaters. Hackers or bot hosters? Who are the worst cheaters? Hackers or bot hosters? Well, I think by sheer volume, the answer has to be bot hosters, just because, dealing with one guy. Although that's a good question in general, because sometimes you'll get in a game where there is a very obvious cheater, like very obvious. The most that I have encountered are the heavy cheaters, where the heavy's minigun has a spread to it, But this guy that you happen to encounter in this game, when he turns to you and his minigun revs up, you die instantly because there's no spread to his bullets. That's the main non-bot hacker that I've had to deal with. And the other team refuses to acknowledge that he's a hacker. They're like, oh no, he's just good. I'm like, no, literally, as a demo man with 175 health, I shouldn't die in 0.25 seconds from this heavy shooting me. Like that it should take at least a second and a half or 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, but not just like boom, you're dead. And this kind of heavy usually has a pocket medic or something, and everybody's defending him and refusing to acknowledge that he's a hacker. But overall, in terms of toxicity to the community, the bots are more toxic, and there's no disputing that. They're more prevalent, and they're more difficult to deal with because they're all just headshotting snipers. How do you fight that besides Vaccinator and Fists of Steel? Painful. Yeah, Dexter, make more informative videos. That's cool. You should do that. Half of it isn't cringe. I've matured during my time on YouTube, and looking back, I see some of it is cringe. Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of crit soldiers and crit heavies, pocket back medics. Yeah, so Trip, whatever floats your boat. Again, I guess think of it this way: is your video what fruit is it bearing? Is it bearing bitter fruit, and then kind of like laughter at their expense for some? Is it bearing just overall good fruit, or whatnot? Like I guess compassion is a big part that we forget as YouTubers sometimes. I'm not a YouTuber crazy like you, but you're just hit 300, man. So I'm not going to advise you what to do, but I will say I think cringe is it's a temporary pleasure. It's a very fleeting pleasure, and trying to grow a following purely off of that, probably not a good idea. Again, I not the best resource to ask about this, but just my thoughts. All right, we got to wrap it up here soon. Let's finish up here soon. Okay, seen a lot of crit soldiers and crit heavies with pocket vax medics. Yeah, the most I've seen in terms of actual human players that were cheating were heavies. I crit soldiers, I haven't seen much of. Soldier is probably the one class that I would say, if I had to argue a reason for disabling random crits, I would say do it for soldier, because a soldier's random crit just totally screws everything up, and it's already an overpowered class. Soldier needs a nerf. There, I said it. So, I guess I'll add that to my list. The next time I feel like I'm being overwhelmed in a match, I'll just go soldier and see if we can reverse the situation, because soldier, again, already too overpowered of a class, and when you add random crits to that, it just gets painfully annoying. I still don't have a problem with random crits as a whole, but I could see removing random crits from ranged weapons, but keeping them for melee weapons. But again, I'm not going to advocate any of that, because I want them to stay. You guys. How long have we been going? Now. I'm losing track here. I gotta pee. Once in a match, there was this really good sniper on my team, and when they killed people, they began to spin as a taunt. And there, many people that kept saying, "Kick the sniper." So that, Sebastian, that was a trend for a short while. It's probably still a trend where people are doing that just for the shits and giggles. Sorry, pardon my French, but where people, oh yeah, look at me, I'm gonna go sniper. I'm just gonna, and in fact, we did it. I think we did in one match. At least Lunar and I were there, but we did. If you go in the console and type plus right, it'll spin you, or plus left, it'll spin you in that direction. You just have to point at the ceiling and pretend to be a bot and wait till you get kicked. But for those people to be kind of upset or surprised they got kicked when they were doing that is, hey, come on, man, that's what you're asking for. That's your content. You're welcome. You got it. Met a few MVM cheaters. How can you even cheat an MVM? The only enemies I have are brony haters. Brony. Lunar. I mean, I remember. I think I know what bronies are like. My Little Pony, right? I remember a lot My Little Pony and Care Bears and the Smurfs and the Snorks, that kind of stuff. I've never really got into it beyond that. So I really don't care. If they have a problem with that, then that's their problem. Again, I going back to Dinkster's comment, I don't know MVM cheaters. I didn't know that was such a thing. I know Togglebot are absolutely toxic, but comfy and cozy. Oh, thanks, Dinkster. Yeah, Irishman's crits I somebody commented on that video, the parody video I did. A couple of people commented like, "Hey, by the way, the demo man's actually Scottish," and I'm like, "Dude, are you serious? I purposely did this. It's got parody in the title, bro." That was funny. I got some entertainment out of that. So let's wrap it up here. Try to make some funny stuff. Try to keep it memes. Memes are always relevant. Did you do Snotty Boy Glow Up? I did a Snotty Boy Glow Up. And by the way, I am proud to announce I finally watched Megamind. I had not seen it. I haven't watched any of those Pixar or whatever movies in ages, since like Toy Story, the original. But I watched Megamind, and it was actually good. I thumbs up on that. Thanks for the recommendations. I thought it was good. So yeah, I didn't see the kid in the movie, but I assume that's an extrapolation from another movie that had the kid that looked similar to what's his face? Titan, yeah. So I'm proud to announce that I did see Megamind, so good for me. Headshot a scout after spinning. Bad at sniper, yeah. Bad, very inconsistent. Reminds me of my spy skills. I can kill the robots before they come down in MVM. Oof. Oh my god, 2 hours? Okay. Jeez. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me on this little adventure. I can't say how happy it is for me to connect with you, even though I can't play. I really wanted to play this weekend. They told us power should be back across Cape Cod by 6 p.m. tonight, and obviously that's not true, considering it's 10:46 here. So hopefully by 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Who knows? But again, I sincerely thank you for joining me. I enjoy you, and I will always, I will always say that TF2 is a family, and it should be. And we should feel free to share things with each other and support each other and all that. And not to get mushy, but you know, you guys are cool in my book. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know. But let's finish this up, and I will see you all later. Cheers.